pears are almonds are doing it, avocados are doing it, and 4 other crops are starting to talk about how to do the same thing. So we know if one can do it, many can do it. All they have to do is collaborate. So we want to get the 6 largest cities to follow San Francisco and say, okay, what is it that we can do to provide investment opportunity or funding? And if we could do those things between now and 2012, I think we would have some stakes in the ground from which to leverage.
It just seems like with the rising food insecurity, rising energy costs, no thought that this is going to improve, that should provide an opportunity to move up the time.
We think it will accelerate. We think it will accelerate it. Actually, you're right. The more things heat up, the more people are going to say, wow, we have to think differently about these issues. And it's happening. There's evidence of it every day in the newspaper now. It's incredible. How many, if you track the number of articles 5 years ago about agriculture and food systems versus today, quantum difference. It's really interesting. People are waking up.
I would suggest the articles that you are seeing are kind of cheat articles in the Press Democrat that are so superficial that they're not worth reading. There are food magazines. I read all the food magazines that are out there just because they are the ones that talk about the boutique foods, the high-end foods, and so forth. Whole Foods is just taking a beating right now as we look at it, with focus very strongly on high-end, the kind of quality and so forth, but when economic conditions change. And I'm concerned with what you're suggesting here. This is what I call Alice Waters economics. You open up a restaurant, top end in Berkeley. You have great success there. The next thing you do, you move it into another level, getting the school system involved, all which is good. But when I hear that, or learn that people in the medical field in San Francisco are taking 15% cuts in their salaries, which we have not been forced to do with our staff up here. And we're going to go to them and ask them to develop better relationships to promote something that comes out of a small group in Mendocino County, and 10,000 people on a project like this is really not all that good. I think we should be paying more attention to why it is that here at the local markets, the farmers markets and so forth, we can't sell rabbits, we can't sell chickens, we can't sell fish, we can't sell all kinds of things because of regulations. They're imposed for good reasons, but they require only local solutions to some problems here. This is all very nice if you made a fortune in an industry and decide you want to go out somewhere else. But there's a philosophical issue here that because I've been very good at something, or I've married the boss's daughter, or I won the lottery, but that does not give me really the authority to go out and organize a whole community and frankly take the time of the Board of Supervisors to talk about their world dream. And I find this to be economically just not very good, not very sound, because you got a politician that's interested in becoming governor being mentioned as a key element in this whole operation. What about Jerry Brown? Jerry Brown went through the whole appropriate technology, alternative energy thing 35 years ago. And it's taken us nowhere, because when economic conditions in the country in general change, all these, what I would call chi-chi or boutique or whatever kind of economics and energy schemes and so forth are just rolled over. So what's good for Chez Panisse is not necessarily good for the local diner here in Mendocino County. When you mentioned pears, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody recently about it, but gosh, even put pears up there, it makes me kind of nervous, because if that's the cutting edge, it's gotten very dull in the last couple of decades. And I just don't feel here that we're looking at the bigger picture like NAFTA. We're not looking at the economic conditions. And of course, price of land in the Midwest has gone up, but that's because we're selling corn for fuel. And when that falls apart, you're going to see these same farmers going bankrupt the way they did with the house. that's my tirade. But I have a feeling I've been through this over and over and over again here. What's new about this that doesn't say we have to connect and work together better? That's not economics, that's sociology. Being a sociologist, I'm very skeptical of sociological solutions to economic problems.
And before I move on, the previous speaker, name for the record, please.
John McCallum.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm Diane Simmons, I'm from Round Valley, Pueblo, and there's a lot of change going on. John participates in a lot of different conversations. There's a lot of collaboration emerging in Pueblo, Round Valley, and the thing I would like to say, Mr. Colfax and everyone, I feel like the resources in this county are phenomenal when you look at other places in this country, and we have the opportunity to make changes faster if we can come together as a local community. And there's a lot emerging all over this county. Round Valley is starting to step up both through the community-wide efforts that are coming together very quickly with the health center to integrate into